Okay, let's talk about. Oh, look, you're drinking. See, I love, by the way, that smoothies became such a thing in White Lotus. If they did, Mike White know what a thing that is in your life and history when he cast you?
I don't think so. I'm a protein
Oh,
smoothie
oh,
connoisseur.
I know
I'm a
you.
fanatic.
I know, fanatic.
It's almost protein smoothie o'clock. I'm gonna get one right now. But no, he didn't know it, and he's obsessed with them too. He drinks them all the time. Mike has his diet and his kind of like food routine dialed into like every to the top.
No way. What is it? I'm obsessed with people's food health routines.
So Mike White is in incredible shape. He's like, if before, let's just say call time is 6 a.m., crew call is 6 a.m. or something, and I was working first up that morning, I would go to the gym maybe at like 4-ish. There was one person that was at the gym, and it was Mike White. And
Jesus.
he worked out every day, and he's got, I mean, now he's on his third season, about to go do the fourth season. Like, he's got the perks that he deserves. So he's got the chef, and he's got the trainers, and he's got everything, but he's got it all dialed in. He's got all of his like his lunchbox with the protein shakes and he's vegan, but he's got all these different meals and hits his protein goals, and he checks his HRV and his amount of sleep and his heart rate and all these different things. And every day he'll come up to me and he'd be like, "What's your HRV? What's your heart rate today? What's your how many hours of sleep?" He's like, I'm this age, but today it says that I've got the heart rate of a 21-year-old. I've got the bone density of this. I've got he's got it all figured out.
I've got the bone. That's a great one. That's one I haven't ever thought of. I've got the bone density.
Yeah, yeah. I got the bone density. I got the protein. He's always like, "What's your protein delivery system? What's your protein delivery system?"
That
But he loves all of that stuff.
that you get. Well, listen, he was in Survivor, right?
Yep.
Man,
Survivor, Amazing Grace, and all that stuff. Yeah,
that's so insane.
I know.
I have a practical question. Um, the resort you guys shot at, is it shut down to the public while you're there, or no?
Yeah, the first 2 months, the whole place was shut down. And then we went and we traveled around. So actually, the first season they shot White Lotus in like 7 weeks, and it was all in one location because they had to do it because of COVID. That was how Mike kind of pitched the idea. We can make a show that's all centered at one location. We don't need to travel. We can do a bubble, and that's when HBO kind of bought into it. And then the second season, they left the hotel, and some scenes took place elsewhere, and I think they filmed for 3 months or so. And then our season took place over 7 months. The first 2 months were all at the Four Seasons in Koh Samui, which they completely rented out. And then we went and traveled around. We went to Phuket and did at another hotel for the spa. We went out onto the yacht that we filmed on. We shot on there for a couple of weeks. We shot in different parts of Phuket for other kind of in the city and kind of some of the local spots. And then we went to Bangkok for the last month, and we shot at the hotel there in Bangkok, and then we did studio work then.
Jesus.
So we were all over. But the hotel being rented out, like you would think that it's like amazing, but it's really quite weird when you have a day off from filming and you go down to the pool or you go down to the bar or the beach club, whatever, and there's not a person there. It's just like it's dead empty. Unless you bring some of the other cast or something.
Yeah, I was going to say, then it makes it a camp. I shot once at a really remote resort, and you're right. It's like kind of spooky, but it also bonds you guys in a great way. Because if the people are working are doing their thing, and the people are off are just figuring out a way to spend time with their day. Who was your like homies?
I became extremely close with the people in my family. So Jason Isaacs, who you already interviewed, and
great.
then Sam Nivola played my brother. Sarah Catherine played my sister. Parker Posey, who I had worked with on The Staircase before. So I became really close with them because, I mean, from the time you audition and everything, and then we actually booked the roles, to then flying out to Thailand was just like a couple weeks later. So we didn't really, and Mike's not a big like prep guy. There was no like table read. There was no like, let's go and prepare and let's do rehearsals and let's do all the, he doesn't really do that, which I think is part of the fun and how he just kind of captures things in the moment. But our family decided to do Zooms for the weeks before we got actually out there because we needed to hear each other's accents. I had no idea what Jason Isaacs was going to sound like from he's a British guy to this Southern, North Carolina accent. And same with Parker Posey. I didn't know what she was going to do. And they wanted a distinction. They wanted the parents to have this like hardcore accent, but then the kids to have like a very minor accent. And so that was a trip to hear it for the first time. I remember hearing Parker's and Jason's, and I was just like, oh my God. I knew that Parker's was going to be like
a thing,
instantly become a thing. Yeah, like it was just everyone was, quoting her and stuff on set. But yeah, I got really close with my family, and so much so like Mike White came up to me like week 3. And he was like, "Hey, do you want to have what are you doing tonight? You want to get dinner?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm having dinner with like my family." And he was like, "What the fuck's wrong with you guys? Why you guys think you don't have to be method? You don't need to hang out as a family all the time. Just chill. Like it's not that serious." And I was like, "I know, but like we're trying to all hang out and get the vibe and try to build these relationships." And he's like, "Whatever. You guys take it so serious." It was really funny.
That's amazing. So you're telling me the minute you heard Parker do her now, it's arguably one of the most famous accents ever, for sure. I mean, name one with it's gotten more in because people can get famous for bad accents, but this is a great accent, and it's just, I mean, tsunami.
I know, and it's like I mean, people were really like, they were really talking about it the first weeks and like, oh my God, it's so over the top, whatever. And then you saw videos coming out of people, which was my favorite. People had other people in that have a similar accent from Durham read off the scripts that she had, and they sounded like just perfect aligned. Oh. It was just like it just sounded dead on.
Well, Matthew went to Duke, which is in Durham.
Yeah.
And so we would go and visit him, and everybody was like, tsunami.
Now everybody's doing it. I have so many people that come up to me that went to Duke. Like that's like the first people that come up to me are people that are Duke, and they just come up and they say some line in the accent or whatever. It's really, really funny.